do manage to be a bit more coordinated in the actions and a bit more aggressive, which is certainly to their advantage. And rejfor doing his best, but could certainly also do from being aggressive. And funkymonkey, well, he really needs to get his act together and just stop sitting down there in the south and drink beer and eat sauerkraut. Marder now caught out in the open, Sherman moving in, outmaneuvering it while crashing down several tombstones. The Marder, of course, not able to do anything, really should consider pulling back instead of trying to consistently follow the Sherman. Oh dearie me, this is not good. Looks like a Marder will be knocked out. Fallschirmjäger moving in, Panzer Faust going off and doing very negligible damage to the Sherman. And the Marder is completely dead almost, and it is now crew sent backwards, one crashing right into the Sherman tank which blew up his vehicle. And now the German troops are left with a Sherman and actually nothing besides Panzer Faust. Another one going off, bit of a waste of munitions. Strafing run going in on the Panzer Grenadiers, killing most of them, leaving them wounded and screaming in pain. American troops setting up a defensive position here, Sherman and a bit of this and that, holding the line courageously. Sherman somehow being forced back, might have something to do with the Marder that joined in. Although still not looking good for the Americans, and we see a forward barracks in a... oh dear. Again, I'm not sure what funkymonkey is up to. It's just tragic, really. And I do feel a lot of empathy for his teammate. And Smallfrizl apparently just not knowing what to do with his munitions, since his opponents isn't really putting up any pressure. Again, I can only suggest observation points, infantry and such. Not much else to say, certainly. A small attack attempted by rejfor's forces from the south. A lot of casualties, and we see one Panzer Grenadier team completely slaughtered by a single shell from the Sherman. Other troops holding out. A Marder once more knocked out. Crewmen scattered across the nearby area. Fallschirmjäger bravely holding the area, but they're probably going to have to pull back as riflemen are moving in with BARs. And indeed pulling back. funkymonkey finally being a bit bold and once more venturing into enemy territory, but again not really much of a concerted effort. And we see a Panther, which, considering all the infantry presence, is perhaps not the best choice. Yes, the Panther is certainly better at dealing with infantry than, say, for example, the Stug, but I really think a Panzer IV here would be the best choice, able to deal with both infantry and armor. Charging right in without any support, which is again not something you should do.
Enemy unit down.
Then again, funkymonkey seems to be doing everything you shouldn't do, so pay attention to that, I'd say. Panther scaring off the Airborne by mere presence, killing one in fact, but the rest pulling back without any support. T-17 firing off a phosphorus round, stunning the crew inside as they check to see what has actually been hit. And phosphor rounds were in fact used to stun enemy vehicles, since it did create the effect of, oh no, something's on fire, I don't want to be in here. And a butterfly bomb damaging the engine, leaving it an easy target for the big cat Panther, moving in and knocking out the T-17, crashing into a well. No, just running around it. Panther now faced with recoilless rifles. Will the Panther be able to survive? Will it fend off the airborne infantry? Perhaps. And it's moving right into their mist. It seems not a good move, but we see Panzer Grenadier troops and some few Luftwaffe troops moving in to support it. Though not looking good. Perhaps they might finally seize this victory point if, say for example, funkymonkey could move his infantry ahead. But apparently not. rejfor really doing his best to keep up the pressure and survive this meat grounder, but again without the support of funkymonkey it's just going to be an exercise in futility. Stormtroopers hanging around, apparently veterans in rank being purchased for the troops of the 18th Infantry Division. Not doing too well, I dare say. butterfly bombs going down once more again. Don't do it in front of your enemy. Do it when he's somewhere else. Doing it in front of the enemy will just present it as a target and let them basically know, oh hey, I'm mining this area. Again, not really the point of mines in Company of Heroes. The point of mines there is basically, is to basically go, hey, I planted a mine there, after he finds it. Incendiary grenades going off, forcing away the Rangers. But they are repositioning, and the very damaged troops of the 9th Panzer Division are quickly forced to pull back. And Luftwaffe troops also suffering heavily. Still fighting though on for some reason, and we see the Panthers for some reason trying a head-on charge on the American base and paying heavily for it, only serving to level up this M7 57mm anti-tank gun. Again, funkymonkey just doesn't seem to have any sort of coordinated grasp of what he's doing, and just throwing away troops in a very sad manner. I'm surprised that rejfor has managed to hold on for so long.
We're losing a strategic sector.
Nebelwerf rounds going in here. It seems though not damaging the howitzer. Troops stalking around and reinforcing. Small fighting going on here as funkymonkey is finally moving in, but not focusing on the victory point. I'm not entirely sure what it is with funkymonkey and victory points. He just seems to be doing it very slowly, if at all. Wehrmacht moving in. Quad flak guns firing off on the American infantry, but recoilless rifle doing a lot of damage, and we also see Rangers moving in with bazookas already half down in health and forced to pull back. And further shots going right into the rear, causing it to go out of control, careening right into some rubble. Crew just thrown everywhere, one landing among the dense shrubbery, probably not surviving. Kettenkrad just standing out there, not doing anything, and quickly disposed of by airborne infantry. And we have another martyr hanging in the back, but no real anti-tank vehicle or anti-infantry vehicles, no Panzer IVs, no armored cars, even just martyrs, martyrs, martyrs. This is certainly a slight wrong approach to this, I think. And we see a sniper duel, first shot missing. Pontan1ke is not being fast enough. His iron sniper firing, missing. Further misses, and who will win this duel? The German or American sniper? The German manages to kill the American sniper after several shots, but is forced to retreat right through the American positions and knocked out by the T-17. And completely dead. Further counterattacks by combined SS and Luftwaffe troops trying to break through, but a strafing run completely stops the attack, killing numerous troops and one Luftwaffe man just lying there in pain. And funkymonkey is doing nothing, not even for example a medical bunker right here to at least salvage some of his teammates' troops and at least give him a larger infantry component. Oh dearie me, what I wouldn't like to say that to that fellow if I met him face to face. No obscenities of course, but certainly some encouraging words towards learning how to play this game, and certainly how to play with your teammate. Airborne encountering butterfly mines, funkymonkey moving ahead. No support at all though, and they're going to be an easy target for this German tank which is hanging around, although taking fire from the miner. Funkymonkey now safe from the Sherman, but now being exposed to another Sherman, and engineers with flamethrowers certainly not looking good for rejfor. All those victory points do seem to be somewhat equal, although again taking against the German troops. And now we're also seeing Knights, Cross Soldiers, not bad infantry, heroic armor, which is probably one of the best things, and Sturmgewehrs, but not necessarily what I'd go for at this moment. Perhaps some armor, perhaps a Panzer IV. And we see a quick attempt at screening off this attack via the usage of a howitzer barrage, since Smallfrizl seems to be swimming in munitions. The German commander quickly diverging his troops, running into a small line of riflemen holding the area, seeing cover behind an upturned car, but forced to pull back due to heavy automatic fire from Sturmgewehrs MP40s. T-17 moving in to stop things. No Panzerfaust going off from funkymonkey's troops. There we go. One Panzerfaust, but not from the Volksgrenadiers. Why on earth not? I can't say. Could have easily knocked out the T-17 there. Although from the next patch on, the T-17 will have received a small health buff. So it won't be 2 Panzerfausts anymore though. No real progress here. All of rejfor's attempts being brutally and swiftly dealt with, and funkymonkey's only decent infantry incursion so far is quickly beaten back by the American troops, as Sherman quickly scaring them off alongside further riflemen with BARs. Anti-tank gun being hit by Nebelwerfer fire, or was it perhaps a mortar, incendiary mortar round? Perhaps that is indeed the crew scorched alive, still around their beloved anti-tank gun. And we see the Germans having secured this area, but hitting numerous mines. In fact, a lot of mines from pontan1ke, and now we see a strafing run in to finish off the job, causing heavy casualties, while further Luftwaffe and SS troops are moving in towards the south to turn away the infantry there, leaving nothing to actually seize this area. A bit unfortunate, but certainly not a bad move, although now again being focused upon by both pontan1ke and Smallfrizl, and of course funkymonkey not doing anything to support. I rather feel a certain theme being repeated over and over again. So I'm not sure if I should just stop it or continue it. Just to get the point across that you really should try to work with your teammate and not just place yourself down in one corner and then proceed to do very little for the rest of the match. And we see the Germans are slightly holding on, gathering up for another assault. Finally some troops again from funkymonkey, who seems to now thinking that, well, Knight's Crossholder, apparently the most expensive infantry, ergo they must be the best. Yes, to a certain degree, but they are for the most part only assault infantry, and they really need something to help them. And of course they can easily be overwhelmed. We see a pack firing back at this Sherman. Knight's Crossholders pulling back. And the Sherman still continuing despite repeated pack fire. Now the Knight's Crossholders are sneaking around from the other side. Final round, missing the Sherman. Knight's Crossholders charging ahead, just a large auto fire blob. It seems already heavy casualties to the Knight's Crossholders, since the Sherman dealt with them quite easily. Further shots going off, heavily wounded already, and now artillery rounds going off. This can easily end very badly for the German troops. Barely making it out of there. Heavy machine gun quickly suppressing these Panzer Grenadiers. 4-man teams having been researched for the Panzer Grenadiers. It seems still a lot of munitions and manpower and fuel generally floating a lot. Again, not really using it, but again, perhaps might have something to do with the lack of pressure exerted by the German forces, partly because rejfor is a bit passive in one sense, but again, the one actually doing most of the fighting, whereas, again, funkymonkey is just sitting around doing nothing. And we see the pontan1ke has received this howitzer, which apparently must have gotten decrewed by repeated Nebelwerfer barrages, and in fact no counter-artillery fire has actually been used against the German Nebelwerfer position. A bit odd actually, but now we also see off-mat combat group being called in, M8 and anti-tank guns alongside some rangers and riflemen moving out. rejfor once more making a move for the north, although perhaps not entirely focused, it seems.